guys, Mel here with another video in the posture mechanics sequence. And today I wanted to speak about Pranayama Deep Breathing as it's the beginning of our practice in the 26 and 2 sequence. And it's a really important part of our practice to help prepare the body for everything that we're going to do following that. So in our Pranayama Deep Breathing Exercise, we are expanding our lung capacity with every inhale breath and helping to flush and eliminate through our powerful exhale breath. The breath is meant to be long, slow, and deep, so we are actually stretching our lungs every time we breathe. So we want to take 6 seconds on the inhale and 6 seconds on the exhale. Now, a lot of beginners, a lot of people when they're starting out, find the long, deep breathing really challenging. And that's because we don't practice deep breathing unless you're mindful of your breathing already. Most people don't practice deep breathing throughout their day. A lot of us are breathing really short and shallow, sort of unconsciously all day long. Sometimes we hold our breath, and that can just create a lot of other issues because our body is lacking in oxygen. Our mind needs oxygen also to function. Our whole body needs it. So when we're taking these deeper breaths, it's encouraging health and well-being throughout our total body and through our brain as well. So if it's challenging to take in those long, deep breaths, again, just do as much as you can, as best as you can. And the more you keep doing it, it's going to eventually stretch your lungs and increase your lung capacity. And that breath will become easier. You'll get stronger and you'll start to enjoy it more. This can help with any sort of breathing issues, asthma, emphysema, chronic bronchitis, any sort of mucus issues or congestion. If you were a smoker and you've stopped smoking, this is going to help to flush and rinse your lungs. Any sort of kind of respiratory issues, pranayama deep breathing is healing for your body. Okay, at the same time that we're energizing, priming, and bringing all of that into our bodies so that we can practice feeling really strong. Okay, so let's start to break down the exercise. Okay, so I'll just start really close to you so you can kind of see the hand position and the arm position. So we start with our interlaced 10 fingers, and we want to maintain the contact of our thumbs against our throat and our knuckles against the chin. Okay, so they're not just kind of like they're hanging out, they're actually touching both spots. Okay, and then your shoulders are down and relaxed, your neck is long and neutral on the inhale breath. Okay, so the movement is the arms coming up towards the ceiling to frame your face with the fingers touching your chin, and we're expanding through the rib cage and the lungs. Okay, so we're inhaling, arms up, and then on the exhale breath, we keep that pressure of our knuckles against the chin, and we start to draw the chin up, the head back, as we start to bring the elbows together and the elbows up. Okay, so they're coming in and they're coming up and the head is going back. Okay, always the knuckles are pressing against the chin and you're using that little bit of pressure to help get that deeper stretch into the neck and the throat opening. Okay, so not like reaming on it, but also feeling that beautiful pressure and allowing the hands to be there to help support the stretching sensation that you're working into. Okay. So for the actual breath itself, it's a long 6 count inhale, long 6 count exhale. We're using our constricted throat muscles. So it sounds like this, okay? We're trying to breathe at the back of the nose through the constricted throat on the inhale breath. The mouth is closed, okay? And on the exhale breath, using those same constricted throat muscles to breathe the air out, okay? So like so. On the inhale, I'm just going to exaggerate the sound so you get a sense of the feeling in your body, okay? So we're not using our vocal cords, we're using our constricted throat muscles. Inhaling. And on the exhale, inhale. Inhaling. Exhale. Okay, so you can hear that I'm allowing my breath, I'm slowly letting it pull in and then slowly releasing that exhale breath out. Okay, and that can take practice, it can take time, but that's what you're working towards, is feeling that constriction. Okay, imagine a little tiny straw, and as you constrict those muscles, you're trying to slow that breath out like you're breathing out through a little straw. Okay, so for the rest of our form and kind of the function of this stretch, we start with our toes and our heels together. Okay, the leg muscles are engaging, so we're contracting through the quadricep muscles. We're trying to straighten and lock out the knees to help lift up through those quads. And then we're also engaging through the back of the legs into the muscles of the hips, the glutes. Okay. Throughout the exercise, we're going to challenge our core muscles, pulling the stomach in and engaging there. And then we're also lengthening through the torso. So we're stretching into the side body, lengthening the back and front body, creating as much stretch as we can through the torso. And we're expanding through the rib cage. So imagining your rib cage here, with every inhale breath, our lungs are expanding out to the sides. Okay, and the lungs are expanding in the same way that our arms are expanding to help stretch the rib cage as we move those arms up. Okay, that's increasing the space through the rib cage and allowing the lungs to stretch out so that we can take in all of that fresh oxygen. Okay, so the hands interlaced under the chin, you're feeling your knuckles to the chin and the thumbs against the throat. We want our neck in neutral and our shoulders soft. Okay, as we inhale the arms up, we're using the arms to help, first of all, lengthen through the torso. Okay, so you're going to feel that lift. We don't want to kind of collapse or just feel the movement into the arms themselves. We're helping to lift the torso with the arm stretching. Okay, so if you feel the movement is kind of just in your arms and shoulders and you're just lifting here, I want you to also think of lengthening and lifting through your spine and your torso as well. Okay, to create that extra lift, you're really engaging through the low belly, contracting, pulling the stomach in. You're going to see your rib cage visible in the mirror on your inhale breath. Okay, so arms up, reaching up. Now our shoulders, we don't want to wear our shoulders on our ears in this exercise, okay? So even as we lift our arms up, we're slightly drawing those shoulders down. Find somewhere in the middle so that you're still able to lift the arms, okay? And everybody's arms, the height of the elbows will look different, and that's normal, so it just depends on the range of motion in your body. Of course, the just natural build that you have. So some people's arms might be, right up by their ears. Some people's arms might be somewhere in the middle. And if yours are kind of more down, that's okay. You're just working again to that edge that's available to you, trying to find the form, okay? So that's your inhale, the arms come up. We frame the face. We don't want to tuck the chin. We don't want to bring the head back. We're keeping our chin parallel. And that chin position is going to help to keep your neck in neutral. Okay, so that's also a really nice cue or a nice thing to watch for in your own body is chin parallel. Okay, and then through that chin parallel, you can actually use the contact of your fingers under the chin to bring the arms up and to lift the chest up, pulling the stomach in more, and then feeling that engagement. Okay? On the exhale breath, we breathe out by the mouth. Mouth opens, head goes back, and the elbows start to come together to touch away from your chest. What we don't want to see is our elbows dropping down. Okay, so when we inhale, the arms lift up, we keep the elbows up, and we just move the head back. We start to move those elbows together so that your elbows will touch as you empty your lungs. Okay, so not dropping those elbows down, always the elbows stay high. This is one thing I see a lot as the elbows come down, the head comes down, the arms move up. Good. and sometimes the head goes back and the arms drop down, right? If it feels tight for you in your shoulders, that's normal. We're trying to lift the elbows, lift them away from the chest, using that core engagement to keep the chest lifted, okay? So we're not in a backward bend. Awesome. So same thing with our shoulders. When we're inhaling, the shoulders are staying down. When we're exhaling, the shoulders drop down again so that we can lift the elbows up higher. Okay, we try not to bring those shoulders up, drop them down, lift the elbows, open the throat. And don't be afraid to feel that compression, right? The little pinching at the back of the neck. That's a good thing. It's a good movement for our neck. We're in a forward fold all day long, right? Looking down on our devices and our activities and all the tasks and things. So here we start to create more balance in the cervical spine by allowing for that opening. It feels good. Okay. Another thing to be mindful of in this exercise, and I'm going to turn to the side for this, is that we don't want to backward bend through our spine, okay, when we're moving into our exhale breath. So we start by really engaging those quads, contracting, engaging the muscles of the hips, okay. On the inhale breath, we just find our gaze neutral neck, shoulders down, and we're going to breathe in. Opening up, chest up, stomach in, reaching. And on the exhale, the movement is just the arms and head. Head comes back, elbows coming together, slowly. Elbows will touch at the end. We're opening the throat. When we open our throat, we're not compressing into the rest of our spine. Okay, we're not moving into a back bend elsewhere. We're just moving our throat, or stretching our throat, moving into the back of the neck. Okay, so we don't want to have any sort of back bending. So if you find that you're engaging through your hip muscles and you start to press too much forward, so it's creating a little bit of a compression in your lower back, I just want you to find more neutral, okay, length in your low back, lifting, lengthening in your low belly, and then finding that lift through the rest of your spine. This entire pranayama exercise is about engaging through the foundation and lengthening through the spine, okay? So no back bending. Awesome. Now, one other thing that you can think about in this exercise is the synchronization of your breath with the movements, and that's where we bring our mind into our bodies and we create a beautiful meditation in motion, okay? So this is the start of our practice, and this is when our mind starts to just really drop into our body and into our breath. So we're creating that harmonization of all of these parts of ourselves, especially after, a day, right? When we've been at work, we've been busy, we've been in school, we've been studying, we've been doing whatever we're doing, we've been with the kids, whatever's going on, a lot of external focus. And then this pranayama exercise helps to just get us really grounded into that meditative energy, into our bodies and our breaths, okay? So that's where that synchronization comes in. So you're gonna see it in my movements here. On my inhale breath, I'm gonna take the full 6 seconds to reach my full expression. And on the exhale breath, the full 6 seconds to reach my full expression. I'm trying to move my arms and my head together and move them with the breath, okay? So inhaling by the nose. Holding at the top, exhaling by the mouth. Elbows touch at the end, rinse it out. Inhale. Full expression, hold. Exhale. All the air out. Okay. So I hope that these tips help. I hope that they give you an understanding of what some of those cues mean and just some of the deeper sensations that you can feel or work into. And and nice to practice from home during this time of isolation. It's a great way to break down our practice and feel into our practice in different ways, right? That we might not get to feel in the normal practice with the heat, and you have that extra element of the heat, right? So when you take that away, it starts to feel very differently in our body. So yeah, try to implement some of these things. I hope that you learned something, and stay tuned for the next video. Hey, have a great day.